So, I know I've made a video about the legalities of keeping great crested newts before. I apologise for doing another one, but there have been a number of recent comments on some of my videos, so I thought it would be pertinent to address them in a video here. The main piece of legislation which protects great crested newts in the UK is the Wildlife and Countryside Act 1981. Here are listed a number of activities which you must not do. The most important one here being possessing, selling, controlling or transporting live or dead newts or parts of them. And that would be an offence if you do not have a licence. So from that you may make an assumption that it would be illegal to keep great crested newts in captivity without a licence. However, the Wildlife and Countryside Act is only applicable to wild animals. Legally captive bred animals are exempt from protection. So here we have a screenshot from an email attachment that I received from the late Dr. Charles Snell. Unfortunately, Dr. Snell passed away last year, so please don't try to contact anyone at the contact details at the top of that page. But as you can see from this screenshot, Dr. Snell was offering eggs from all of the native UK newt species, including great crested newts, and he was operating under the name of Eco Newt at the time. Here is a price list and order form. And you can also see here a statement from Dr. Snell regarding the origins of his great crested newt colony. They were taken in the 1970s from a site which was scheduled for development. And of course, at this time, this was prior to the Wildlife and Countryside Act 1981, so we didn't require a license to take them from the wild. They were legally taken. And here you can see an email from Dr. Snell to myself saying thank you for your order and confirming that I did purchase great crested newt eggs from his legally held captive bred colony. And this is one of the developing embryos still in the egg that I received from Dr. Snell in 2016. You can see that the eggs were actually laid on orange plastic rather than on wild plants. So of course, again, you can see that they are captive bred. All of the eggs that I received from Dr. Snell developed into normally coloured newts, but a number of friends purchased eggs from Dr. Snell that developed into albino individuals. The Snell colony was well known for containing a number of albino great crested newts. So I purchased this animal, an albino female, from Mr. Davis in 2018, and this is a screenshot from a Facebook post that I posted then. So there's substantial evidence that these animals originated from legally captive bred origins. Of course, I've gone on to breed from the animals myself each year, and here is a photo of some albino great crested newt larvae, which I produced a couple of years ago. So I would like to think that that would leave no doubt in anybody's mind that all of my animals are captive bred. So I guess the only question that remains then is it legal to keep captive bred great crested newts? The professional body which is in charge of the regulation of the Wildlife and Countryside Act is Natural England. So you can see here an email which I received from Natural England to confirm the legality of these animals. So, dear Mr. Brindley, that is myself, Section 27.1 of the Wildlife and Countryside Act 1981 defines a wild animal as any animal other than a bird which is, or before it was killed or taken, was living wild. Therefore, captive bred specimens or species normally found in the wild in England and Wales are not considered to be wild animals, and consequently they would not be subject to licensing requirements of the Act. And that is from Ian Morris of Natural England Wildlife Licensing Service. So I believe that is sufficient evidence to show anybody who is under any doubt that my animals are legally captive bred and owned. Over the years that I've been breeding great crested newts, I have passed on a number of animals to different individuals. These animals do not require any sort of paperwork or licensing, as they are exempt from protection under the Wildlife and Countryside Act. However, I am happy to provide a written declaration of legal captive origin under request if anybody asks me for those when they take newts from me. So thank you for watching. Thank you to everybody who's provided support for this YouTube channel and the Facebook page by watching, subscribing and all the rest. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.